GOP leaders and candidates rallied supporters across the country Friday. Former Vice President Mike Pence spoke in Iowa, while Florida Governor Ron DeSantis visited two states. He was in Pennsylvania to support Doug Mastriano, who's running for governor, and in Ohio he rallied for Senate hopeful J.D. Vance. We're also learned that former President Donald Trump will hold a rally in Pennsylvania September 3rd. Kevin Sheridan joins us now with more. He's a Republican strategist and former RNC spokesman. Kevin, thanks for being with us. Has the FBI search of Trump's Mar-a-Lago home impacted Republicans in any of the recent polling?
Not significantly tied to the raid itself, I wouldn't think. It's mostly a sideshow to what's going on in individual Senate races, which are statewide races. They're very candidate-driven and focused on that. I guess you could say that it will energize, especially the MAGA base of the Republican Party, even more. But many of those candidates have already won their nominations, so I guess they don't really have much of an excuse not to come out in Pennsylvania or Georgia or even Ohio or Nevada. So, it may produce a talking point in some House races, for instance, where they can say, look at what the Justice Department is doing. The two standards of justice in this country are unacceptable, and we're going to hold this administration accountable when we get in there. But in terms of this being directed just at Donald Trump and what he did or did not do with classified information or classified materials, that's a Donald Trump thing, and he's not on the ballot.
So this is kind of a side issue in many respects. Really, the core issues are what? The economy, inflation, people's savings?
Yeah, people are getting poorer every day. Inflation is hurting everybody. Energy it's a terrible situation. We've got all the energy in the world right here under our feet, and with nuclear capacity and more drilling, and we're just choosing not to do it. That should be a message that every Republican talks about: inflation, 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 plus crime. Crime in our cities, crime in our suburbs is out of control. Democrats don't have a message for it. They seem to be doubling down. Their prosecutors will not prosecute crime. That's got to be a part of the Republican message as well. And getting control of the border and holding this administration accountable for its failures in Afghanistan and other places. They've got to bring accountability. They've got to bring a check to the system. So Republicans, the issue set is very set right now. Republicans know what they should be running on. They need to hone their messages. They need to get very tight with their messages, not get distracted, not do stupid things, not say dumb things. And directionally, all of the signs are pointing in favor of Republicans, but candidates have to execute, and they always do.
Well, you're talking about this core issue of discipline. So what are we seeing with some of what I'll call these celebrity Republican candidates like Dr. Oz and J.D. Vance? Are they delivering?
Well, to take Dr. Oz, look, that guy's been on TV for 20 years or more. He's a world-renowned heart surgeon. He teaches, innovative heart surgery. He's a smart guy. He needs to hone his message, though. He needs to really get tight with it. He needs to not make mistakes. He needs to put some of the focus back on his opponent, because his opponent is not who he claims to be. He dresses and looks like he's a working, blue-collar working man, but he clearly isn't. I mean, he lived off of his family for his entire life. So, I think he's Harvard educated as well. So he's got to put some more focus back on him, put some lead on that target, and then he's got to actually deliver his message on inflation, the economy, crime, all of the things that we talked about. In terms of J.D. Vance, the polling is tighter there. Ohio is a more favorable state to Republicans. That's a +8 state. Donald Trump won it handily in 2016 and 2020. So you've got to think that J.D. Vance will close and will be very competitive. I think he will win that race. Dr. Oz has got to make up some ground between now and mid-September, and then close strong.
How significant is an endorsement from the Florida Governor Ron DeSantis?
Well, Ron DeSantis is the 800-pound gorilla in the Republican Party right now. Everybody wants to be associated with him. He's got a $100 million war chest. He's collecting money from literally every part of the Republican constituency, big donors, small donors. He's hitting all the right notes. Obviously, Donald Trump could be in his way to a nomination for president if he runs, but he is a very attractive candidate to go out on the stump. He has a very simple message on any given subject. He just speaks plainly and matter-of-factly. He doesn't take any guff from any reporters that try to pin him down. So he's very combative. It's what Republicans want to hear right now. Whether that plays on a national stage when he gets into an actual presidential race, we'll see. But he's got to win his governorship race first. But he's a very popular, surrogate that would do well in literally any race. You can put him in any race in the country, any state in the country would be happy to have him.
There's new reporting tonight that Mike Pence's lawyers are talking to the January 6th committee. If he does testify, is there fallout with the midterms?
Depends on what he says, I guess. But, he has made signals that he's willing to do that. He's also looking to run for president. And I'd be surprised in how he does it or what he says. Now, he's also very practiced he's very skillful in saying, not saying too much, but saying the right thing politically. So we'll see how he threads the needle. He's recently said some things about Donald Trump where he's been slightly more critical recently. His team certainly has been a little bit, but in the days after January 6th, he didn't go there. If he gets in front of that committee, I don't think Republicans are going to like seeing it because I don't think they agree with what the committee consists of or how they're operating. So it won't win him any points with Republicans. But if he's got some bombshell testimony that says that he knows that Donald Trump did something that we haven't yet heard about, let's see what he says. But right now, I don't think it means anything more than probably for his prospects for a Republican nomination.
Kevin Sheridan, thank you.
Thank you.